you should sit down and have a conversation. Really have a conversation. Like a lot of times, if the team members they feel hurt by certain words, which go talk to that person, go understand their intentions. They may not have the intention that you are thinking of. They probably just didn't know certain words that they could use. Talk and educate. That's all.
Hey everyone, before we begin this next episode of the Hello Mentor podcast, I just want to say if you're job searching or hiring, check out hiredly.com. We are not just another job platform, we make it easier to find the jobs that people actually want, and we help companies stand out to hire the right talent. So there's a lot of smart tech and there's a lot of human touch. That's Hiredly. So you can head to hiredly.com and give it a go. Right, and welcome to another episode of the Hello Mentor podcast. We have Kim Lim with us today from PichaEats. Kim, thanks for being here. If you would introduce yourself to us in your own words.
So again, my name is Kim and I'm from PichaEats. What we do is that we help both the refugee community and of course the local community being that bridge through food. So we use food to tell stories, we use food to make an impact, change lives, and basically how it works is that the chefs that we partner with who are from the refugee community will cook from home. And then we are the logistics and we are the operations, we are the liaison with customers to deliver those food from destination A to B, basically to the customer's front doorstep lah.
Right. And you describe yourself as a social enterprise, would you?
Yes, we would describe ourselves as a social enterprise, but due to, like how the social enterprise scene in Malaysia is and how refugees are technically a very sensitive topic, and hence, like, we call ourselves a food catering company at this point lah.
I got it. Right.
Yeah.
So it's better to just describe yourself as a business or company rather than have that
Exactly.
social element.
Exactly. I mean, we are still driven by the impact, but I think it's easier to also explain to people what we do when we say we're a catering company. It's just so that we partner with refugees where your food come from, their cooking and all.
Right. And for those who are listening who are unfamiliar what a social enterprise is, even though I know you're trying not to describe yourself as a social enterprise, like how would you describe it? Because people hear social, people think it's like charity or stuff like that, right? But what is a social enterprise?
Yeah. We technically didn't disassociate ourselves with being a social enterprise. It's just that a social enterprise is so many definitions in the world. But in Malaysia itself, it's actually an enterprise. It's driven by impact. So you need a business model, but your business model needs to incorporate a social mission to it. So basically, that's what a social enterprise is.
Right. In some sense, there's a social goal or impact, but at the same time, you're running it like a business lah. So it
The
self
social
sustains.
goal is the right word lah.
Right. And what tell us about that? How this entire thing first started?
So we started, myself and two co-founders, they were Suzanne and Suilin, and we started, I think, around 12 years ago when we were volunteering in a refugee learning center. So Suzanne was like teaching English, and I volunteered to teach music. So I was a musician before all these things happened. And from there, when we were volunteering, we realized a lot of like students that we were teaching were dropping out of education. So I always tell people, you can imagine, if you are in a hawker store, the people who brings your food, if you're in a salon, the people who washes your hair are possibly refugee teens themselves, who had to drop out of basic education just to survive. And why is that so? Is because in Malaysia, we don't recognize refugees here. This means that they are not able to work legally. Their kids are not able to go for public education. And this also means that, medical aid is very, very scarce for them, very difficult for them as well. So with that, a lot of students that we were teaching had to drop out. And when they drop out, they find sustainable income to sustain their family. And in that sense, when they grow up, is very lack of education or lack of skill sets for them to assimilate into the proper working environment. So that is why we work on starting an enterprise that works. We started off doing music concerts at first, but it wasn't so sustainable lah. And we thought that we need something sustainable. So we work out like a business model that revolves food. Why? Because the refugee community that we were working with, we realized a lot of them can cook. Then why not we get them to cook and then we deliver those food to customers. So we did our first like order in university. Like university days, we just convince our friends, persuade them to buy from us. So we got them to buy, and then they tried their food, their first Burmese food, technically. And from there, then we started exploring whether this can be, big, this can be explorable and all. And we got into an accelerator as well. It's under Magic at that point of time. And we accelerated our progress, accelerated our business model. Eventually, we went into companies doing buffets, serving bentos, and doing all sorts of different services that revolves food for customers. And today, I think we're around for 10 years already. And that's how we've been growing, lead by lead in the past 10 years.
All right. So what made you volunteer in the first place?
So I was conducting student, so I was learning conducting, and I didn't have a bunch of people to conduct.
Right.
So I thought, okay, why not let's there's a bunch of students that wants to learn, and conducting is a lot about teaching. So why not I teach them music? And at that point of time, very hard to get like instruments because they cost money. And what is free is our vocal. So I taught them to sing. And so we formed a refugee choir from there, and I started conducting and practicing my own conducting skills as well. So from there, then we continue to do more activities.
Oh, interesting. Like sometimes you never know where life takes you, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought I would conduct an orchestra one day, but I was conducting refugee choir, and it was a very surreal experience. Like I learned a lot from the community.
Right. So you started off as basically you were, I'm using my own words here, but were you like training to be a conductor, something like that? And so you needed an audience.
Yeah.
And there's this group of people that you thought, hey, this could be a great audience. And then somehow, after meeting them, you got pulled into like, why don't I help this? Why do I help them?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it just organically opportunities just keep popping up. And so and that time I'm probably like 20 over years old, and it's, at your 20s you're always like, oh, here's an opportunity, great, let's go. So that was my mentality lah.
Right. And did you already know your co-founders before you all volunteered, or did you actually met them?
I know them through the platform that we were volunteering in. So from there, I think Suzanne was looking for volunteers, and then I say, okay, why not I volunteer with her? And then from there, we started knowing each other, learning about each other, and our own strengths and weaknesses, all from that era lah.
I see. And then you just decided, let's do something together.
I think the three of us just have the heart to make a difference among the refugee community, so we just went on with it.
Okay. It just like that, you just started. Right?
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm also super curious, as you said, like your first interaction with the community was through music.
Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't strike me as the most obvious thing that they would need, right? Like music.
Yeah. It doesn't really strike a lot of people, but if you go back to history, I think music has helped so many people to survive. You go back to the slavery era, how they use music in the workplace, in the cornfield, just to survive the day, because they were abused, they were being used to harvest and all. It's very mundane work, and what helps them to move on is music, right? And in this community, hence why I say I learned a lot from them, I realized they have such beautiful voices. And when you conduct them, their voices represents a lot of things like resilience, love, shared prosperity. They want to showcase themselves, and music is one of it. Art is one of it. So, I love how music can bridge those and give hope to not just themselves but a lot of other people, and hence we use that as a channel at a point of time.
Right, right. So in some sense, I guess when people are going through a challenging time, sometimes things like this helps them.
Yeah, I mean, you listen to your favorite music or like music that helps you go through, or like, in the middle of the night, some music that you relate a lot with and how it tells. Sometimes it's very hard for people to express things, and music helps the expression. And eventually, sometimes it's like a therapy to some people. So that was how I saw music as a.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And it's sort of, I guess it resonates with the human spirit a lot, lah, right? Regardless of whatever you're going through.
Yes,
right?
yes. I think a lot of music created has like different topics, different relevancy to a lot of people, like heartbreaks, losing your career. Heartbreaks is a lot, of course. Losing your career, I'm sure there's a lot of people that a lot of music that is relevant to it, or like even victories and um losing parents, and so a lot.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Can I just dive deeper there? I'm very curious, like, because I really love to hear the background of people who started, like, especially like PichaEats, right? Like, and how did you discover music yourself? Why did you go into?
So when I was like way younger, my mom sent me to the piano lessons. I don't like it. I didn't really like piano at that point of time. Why? This is the problem with a lot of teachings in the world, right? They're so not to say you're not supposed to be strict, but I was often being beat on my fingers if I play a wrong note, and also it made me very resentful to music at that point of time. And then when I grew up, I think around like 14 or 15 years old, I had my first hand on a guitar. And I was like, oh wow. It is painful sometimes on the strings, but I realized that, oh, the music, the strings when you strum on it, the sound that comes out from it, and more important is the camaraderie that you can have with friends who plays guitar as well, because you can do it together. But if you're playing the piano, you need a few pianos to do it together. It's pretty difficult. But for guitar is so easy. You just pick up the guitar and everyone can just start playing together. So it's the camaraderie that I loved it. And after that, I realized that, oh, I can play and sing. So there's a lot more expression to it. And from there, then I realized like, oh, I have a love for music. It's just what instrument am I picking up? What channel am I using? So from there, then I realized, okay, music is something that I want to pursue. But in every Asian household, if you say that, your parents will be like, "What are you talking about?" They call it don't fart ming sing mong. Don't dream about being a celebrity and all. And I was like, no, I'm not trying to be a celebrity. I just love music. I just want to play.
Right.
And if I can play for an audience who relates with me, oh, that'd be great, right? And so I signed up myself to a university studying music. It took me some challenges because my mom was like, you're going to finish this exam first before you talk about your music future. And I did finish it. And so she allowed me that opportunity, supported me throughout after that. And from there, then I delve deeper into music.
That's so interesting. Like, presumably it's your family that asked you to learn the piano.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, my
but
mom.
right. But then not as a career, lah. Like, just learn it, but
just learn
don't do
for
anything with
hobby.
it, please. Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, but then after that, don't do it. Yeah.
All right.
A lot of Asian households the same.
Right. And so it's like so what you loved about music is like it brings people together, lah, right? In some
Exactly.
sense.
Like so many messages can be, done through music.
Right.
World peace, coming together, all these things.
Right. And in some sense, like, yeah, you're right. I mean, people enjoy the music and the message resonates, right? Sometimes.
It's a community itself.
Right.
Yeah, like different genre is just different community. Like you have the heavy metal, and then you have the K-pops, and then you have like the American pop, like all different genre. You have the jazzes as well. Different genre, different community. Yeah.
I never thought I considered like the guitar brings people together, right? Because it's right. Because you're right, you can play together. It's quite portable, so you can just carry it around.
Usually what people do is they learn the first 4 chords
Yeah.
and then after they learn the first 4 chords, they go like, oh, let's play together.
Right.
Or like in a lot of guys' point of view, they're like, oh, let's just strum to attract girls, you know.
Right.
So those kind of like ideas lah.
Right. Yeah. I also just know the 4 chords. That's my level. Yeah. So I have some understanding of the guitar.
Yeah, that very common practice.
Yeah. And then I later realized I have no talent for it. But anyway, that's a different story. Just going back to like PichaEats. So okay, so your background is music, and somehow the music connected you to the community. The community connected. I mean, you saw something there, right?
Yeah.
And then you met your co-founders, then you started. Yeah. So what were some of your first challenges? Starting something is very difficult from nothing, right? So one of your first hurdles or challenges when you first started PichaEats?
Our challenge is not knowing how to run a F&B business because none of us have F&B background. So I studied music. Suzanne was a psychology graduate. Sweeling was accounts and finance. So the three of us, none of us know about food. We just know how to eat at that time. Even today lah, but and I think the challenge is learning how to run its operations. Like marketing and sales and the business itself, we know the thing going around, but like running its operations, logistics, it was a challenge. And also working with the community can be a challenge as well. Working with the community means there's a lot of empathy, patience, understanding their point of view, learning about their recipes that are required. And we were really stretching our capacity that time. And our challenge range from like, let's say like running the operations, we probably like forgotten orders, or like we had like logistical issues. Example, like the food couldn't fit into the transportation, or packaging issues where the food sauces may leak and all, or the food quality, because what the chefs make may not be something that is suitable to Malaysians' palate. So that is also something that we had to learn. So we've overcome a lot of challenges at that point of time in the beginning, but more challenging one, probably in our third or fourth year, is people management, leadership. I think we thought we knew how to lead until people left us, and we're like, oh, okay, I think we need a deep look into ourselves lah. And from there we really learn. Even until today, like just like you mentioned, you feel that you're inadequate. Yeah, we feel the same all the time. Right? We feel like every time you overcome a leadership challenge, then another comes, right? Another new bunch of people with new sets of challenge comes again. So those kind of challenge were what we had to go through lah.
Right. So in the early days, it was I guess running the catering kind of business and learning the operations of running a kitchen and all that, right? And then as the company grew, then more people, and then the leadership and people management part became more obvious, something you need to overcome.
Yeah.
And would you say, and I think, this something that Kim and myself just spoke off camera before it started was, it's like people management is actually quite a common I wouldn't say issue, but it's quite a common skill gap, lah, right? A lot of people have in the beginning, as companies grow, and it's also something that I suppose a lot of people underestimate, lah, right? To be challenged.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we always thought we can be the leader we want.
Yes. A lot of theories about, and I know great theories about what a good leader is, but in reality, it's like not so straightforward, I
Exactly.
suppose, right?
Yeah.
And in those early days, would you say before the people management part became a thing, would you say the biggest issue was running the kitchen?
Running the kitchen was not. Why? Because we actually partner with the refugees and they cook from their homes. So they actually know how to run their own home kitchen. So running the kitchen was not an issue. I think it's more of managing their attitude. Like example, like whether they will be late, whether they remember the order, whether they get the right ingredients, whether they you know how to exactly do the place the packaging and all. So all these were the challenges.
Right, I understand, right? Because like it's kind of like you create a platform for them to kind of make a living, right? In a sense, but they also maybe they haven't. Well, some of them also adapting to the fact that it's a business now in a way, right?
Yeah.
We have customers. Right?
Yeah. So
Right.
cooking for their family and cooking for customers very different.
Right. How do you overcome all these early challenges?
A lot of communications with frustration at times. Communication in a way like with our first chef, she don't speak a word of English and she don't even know Malay that much. So what we did a lot was drawing. Like we literally drew the rice, we literally drew the chicken and the egg and all. But after that, like there are chefs that speaks in Arab or Persian or Pashtun and all those languages that we had to either get a translator or Google Translate. At one point, I was also trying to learn Arabic a bit. I got like a teacher to teach me as well. I know a few words and all. So those kind of challenge that we had to learn how to overcome with either external help or rising ourselves to up to the challenge lah. So communicating on the WhatsApp was also a challenge, like texting, whether they understand or not, or they don't understand. We had to make sure that they fully understood the order. Sometimes uh, they do misunderstand the order, and then we had to fix it on the spot, or like maybe 2 hours before the food arrives to customer. Or even technical errors. I remember there's one point that I think we had to prepare 60 chicken biryani, and one person probably missed out the zero. Then it becomes 6 chicken biryani, and those kind of challenges that we had to look into. So technical challenge is also one thing to address.
Right. In that specific story where 60 was confused for 6, how did you how was that resolved?
We had to call the customer and explain to them and quickly look for other chicken biryanis or food to replace. In the end, customer wants food. As long as food that not to say that it's edible, but is good enough for them to serve their guests. That's their main priority. Of course, the second is that they want to support us. They want our brand there. But if we couldn't, then of course, then we had to do some kind of compensation and apologies and all.
Right. Wow, that's really tough.
Yeah.
Right. So, in short, a lot of patience, a lot of communication.
Yes. Yeah. The patience level that I have, expanded in the past 10 years is huge.
No, right. I'm sure it's been quite a character building journey for you.
Yeah, it has been.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And when you said that 3-4 years in, people management became the next skill, and you're referring to people management within your
team.
your own team.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we started hiring we didn't know who we wanted. We just know we needed help. Um, and we were this was our first job, so we didn't necessarily work in another workplace to know how employees are, how workplace systems are, how to manage one-to-ones or like reviews. We really didn't know all those things. But it's as much as it was our responsibility to learn it up, we had to learn it in a very, 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 very super short time. But that means also we will make mistakes. So we did make quite a few mistakes, for sure. And mistakes, like maybe we don't have like the proper systems for employees to be onboarded. Maybe we don't have the right values in place, where we could find the uh, employees with the right values that align with our mission and vision, right? So many mistakes, and I think at one point, we hire a bunch of people and they left all at one go, and we realized like, oh, okay, it's not that easy. There are a lot of things that we have to look into, not just the systems and processes, but also how we portray ourselves as leaders. So a lot of, like you mentioned, character building was done throughout those kind of process. And yeah, just keep reflecting and knowing that each person lives is a reflection of what we did not do well, and hence we have to do better the next round. Yeah.
Was there like one big obvious lesson you had from that time?
Obvious lessons.
Or the biggest one you had? I'm sure there's so many, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's the biggest one because everything seems big to me. But things like, example, like, okay, you hire someone, if you don't have a good onboarding kit or process, they will come in very rocky in the first 2 to 3 weeks, and it will be a challenge for them. They will feel demotivated, they will feel disorganized, and they will give up before we even give up, right? As important the vision and mission is, they will. Or example, like if you portray yourself, which I did before, as a leader that's so hard-headed, or like you get you get angry very easily. People just don't approach you. People don't tell you what they truly feel. And eventually they will leave without you even realizing that they actually checked out 2 to 3 months ago, right? So, those kind of mistakes we've done.
Wow, it's so hard, right? Like finding this balance. So one in some sense it's like, let's say, belief and conviction, and on the other side, like knowing how to listen to the team. On that, right?
Exactly. Like you can have all the good intentions, but if you don't do the right processes, systems, and attitude, then you most likely will lose them time to time.
Right. It's hard. Like even I don't know what is the right balance.
Like we look eye to eye, we're like, okay.
Right. And in terms of PichaEats as a social enterprise, like, so there's the social impact side and then there's the business side. How do you balance these two goals? Do they ever come into conflict sometimes? And like how does it play out?
We do, and sometimes that is why our co-founding team fight or argue at times when we started. Maybe in the first 4 to 5 years, we can't agree, because the three of us will manage different chefs, different individuals. We were a very small team, so we took upon ourselves to manage the different chefs with different attitude and all. We always come to disagreement as to how each other manages the chefs, especially when they didn't deliver quality, when they're not on time, when they had attitude issues, where they don't want to deliver the orders and all. And I'm not putting a bad rap to the community. They are really, really good ones. I'm just saying those that those incidents that may cause us to get into arguments. And with that, we 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 had a lot of different opinions. Example, like I don't like how the other person, the other co-founder probably is talking to the chefs that I am working with, or like I don't like how the other co-founder manages the chefs systems, right? So those kind of things are what we argue a lot
Right. Right.
about. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought so interesting. So all three co-founders manage your own team of chefs. Is it something like
That time lah,
That time lah, right.
Right now is a team managing all the chefs.
Right.
Yeah. So balancing social and profit was a constant discussion. A lot of like going into the room, treating it as a war room at times. Like, okay, we need to put this chef first, or like we need to think about this customer. We need to put in these systems, or else the chef wouldn't deliver quality, or a lot of those kind of constant discussion as to how we can balance. Balancing social and profit is one. Balancing the chef's income is also another one, because there'll be good chefs and there'll be chefs that needs a lot more improvement. And so balancing their income to make sure that everyone is fair is a challenge I did today. But we managed to do it better at least these 2 years.
Oh, right. So can I again? I'm just trying to guess what that would mean, right? So from a business standpoint, say if it's not a social enterprise, if a chef is producing high quality product in some sense, then your customers love it more.
Yeah.
The business does better if you let the chef cool more, right?
Correct. But you're a social enterprise.
Right.
So everyone matters.
Right.
Right.
Got it.
Right. So the lowest earning chef matters to us.
Right.
And we have to help him or her to increase as well.
I see. Right.
So in a very normal workplace, they'll probably be eliminated, probably like be left behind. But that's not our motto. So we have to help them up as well.
Oh, you're right. Right. Yes. In the usual company, underperforming person, right,
you just
doesn't stay right?
Yeah, you don't stay. But if they decide to stay, then we will coach them. We will help them, and those coaching takes like 1.5 to 2 years at times.
Wow.
Yeah, because we have to think like they are the community that was left behind, and they are left behind for a reason, right? And we cannot let that be the reason. So we had to slow down certain processes as our speed to accommodate them so that we can all work together. So that's our motto.
Wow.
Yeah. And that balance is difficult. Sometimes you have to pull, sometimes you have to push. Yeah.
Wow. Right. So you sort of to adapt to, well, you sort of to make sure everyone can keep up in some sense. So the group adapts to maybe the one that takes a bit more time.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Have to.
Interesting. Right. How does this do you have a framework for resolving this conflict? Maybe from the early days until now, how do you do it?
Well, we're still like evolving. There's not necessarily a framework. The thing working with communities that are vulnerable, the framework changes a lot of times. We could fit into a framework. A lot of us, like we're at the normal society, we can fit into the framework, and hence I could be the same level as anyone in this environment, but they are not, because they can't fit into the framework, and the society refuse to create frameworks that work for them, and hence we always had to change and evolve. Even like today, until today, we have our centralized kitchen. As last time we only had the house kitchens, but today we have our centralized kitchen. And what that centralized kitchen does is to help the people who are left behind to come in and gain confidence and gain the skills, gain the enough experience to be able to do it by themselves. But that process takes 1.5 to 2 years. It is that long because we thought that, okay, if you place myself, you and I, into the kitchen, and if we train 6 months will be great, and we put that same framework on them. But it does not work that way. Why? Because of their experiences that they have gone through, right? They've gone through abuse, they've gone through war, they've gone through traumas that we've never imagined before, and they need a different framework and coaching and cheerleader to tell them that they can do it. And that's not what you and me require. The speed that you and me require, they need longer time.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people are not willing to do, and hence why they are always left behind.
Right. And are you seeing some of these, I suppose refugees are already managing the teams with something like that?
Yeah.
Right. They're not just producing the food and product, they're managing.
Yeah, they're managing teams, they're managing their own community.
Right.
They're also managing their own traumas and emotions. How? We don't have a lot of psychology or psychological service for refugees. There are a few organizations, but not well facilitated, not enough people in this area. And a lot of people come from traumas that they cannot escape from. I remember I sat with a lady before. I think she was from Pakistan or she was from Myanmar. I can't remember. When I look into her eyes were hollow, like gone. Like whatever you tell her, she'll just nod her head, but you know she's gone on. So those kind of moments that always triggers me to like, okay, there's a lot of work to do. And of course, eventually you lose that person. There are people that you really, really, really cannot help already. And there are people that you can help. And we are focusing on people who can be helped.
Right. So they go through a lot of like personal trauma, I suppose.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, a lot, right.
And it is hard to just let go.
Right. And as an organization, I suppose, even though you're like a business, but you are also carrying this freedom, like in some sense, right?
We have to because they are part of the business.
Right.
Yeah, we see them. So in social enterprise, there are many models. There are models where you buy one free one, buy one for one, or like you have models that are inclusive, or you have models that are, what models they have already? That addresses the environment, but in a way that are research based or anything. So there are many models outside, and ours is one of the inclusivity ones. And it means we include them into our business, we include them into our P&L, we include them into our supply chain, and that is it is a challenge, but it is also models that people do not explore, and hence you can see them as opportunities.
Right. Yeah, when I was talking about people management earlier, I'm obviously referring to, I mean, we're like a business, like a like a usual business, right? But this is like, some of them are taking on like, I don't know what's the right word here, like a proper job, but they also carry a lot of baggage going into it. And then you have to have the patience to manage everyone.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Even our team members, there are people that comes in with a certain kind of baggage, locals, and because of our motto with the community, we had to treat everyone the same, right? It's also part of equality, right? And so whenever team members come in with their own baggage, we also try and coach them.
Right.
Depending what it is. You have like marriage issues, personal confidence issues, family issues. I think it's just part of our responsibility to do it if we decide to hire them. Yeah.
Such an interesting I find it very fascinating because I'm just reflecting on, let's say, HireLee's journey, right, ourselves. I'm not I'm not, well, I guess I'm not particularly very emotional person, and sometimes my struggle in the early days of growing the business was, I mean, everyone has emotions. Let me put it this way: we're all like full human beings, right? Learning how to integrate that into the company, understanding that people sometimes will bring their emotions to work and all that. Because I'm not particularly emotional, so I mean, especially in the days, I really, I couldn't, I didn't have the skills, I don't have the tool set how to work in this environment, which I've learned. But it sounds like you are from the complete opposite end, as in the environment. A lot of people bring a lot of baggage and emotion to the environment, but the organization has to already from day one, you already learn how to deal with this already.
I think we still have to strike that balance as much there are emotions that are poured into the work that we do. The balance of setting boundaries, still helping the individual to perform professionally. I think that is something that I have learned a great deal. I can coach you, I can hear you out of work or like during work, but when it comes to one-to-ones, we have to really get down to business as well. And that's the balance or polarities that we have to achieve in the business that we do.
Right. Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine. What's the size of the business now, headcount wise?
We are at 20 25 full-timers.
Right.
And then we have 12 to 15 shares.
I see.
And then we have around 20 part-timers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And have you all got a lot better at collaborating? Because obviously the refugees come with different culture, and then you will hire a lot of Malaysians also.
Yeah, we've learned a lot of things. Example, like understanding different cultures from people from different countries. Example, like if you are working with people from the Middle East, they usually talk rough, but you cannot take that as them talking rudely to you, right? You need to understand that's how they talk back in where they come from, and um learning how to speak with them, understanding their intentions. Yeah, I think that was a challenge for many new hires for sure, because they'll be like, oh, why they talk to me like this one, huh? Then you have to tell them it's okay, it is very normal, but they come with very, very good intentions.
Right.
It's just cultural difference.
Right.
And then if you work with people from Pakistan, they also very direct. Like they talk to you very direct. They don't go around the bush and everything. And how you like, I have a customer service person from Pakistan. He is talented. He is very diligent. He is very loyal. But when he talks, no one likes it at all. But eventually, the team learns to love him. Learns to love the way he talks, learns to go around, and he still talks the way he talks. He did mellow down a bit, but everyone learns to love each other in a way that it's okay for this conflict. This conflict is required, but we will love you at the end of the day. So that kind of understanding. And then we've worked with people from Liberia, where he is such a talented boy, and he got dropped out of his education, not because he didn't have money to continue, but because he pulled a fist on his friend, and so he got expelled. And when he came in, I told him, you are here to restore your reputation. You're not here to fight, okay? And he told me in Liberia, everyone used their fists to resolve conflicts. And that's how he got very, very hot up, right? And I say, okay, but here is a very different place. And here is where you learn how to use words and different communication style to resolve conflict instead of the fist. So he learned as well. So people with different cultural backgrounds and different countries. I think a lot of time empathy is very, very much required. Learning how they grow up, learning why they behave or act this way, and go around it and help them understand where do we want to get to. So a lot of conversations go into this kind of work.
Right. Oh, I love it. I love how I suppose you turn the sort of a negative event and use it to try to inspire him to change lah.
Exactly, and today he has inspired one of our projects, called Limelight, because he's a very street art hip hop person. You know how people from the black community, they're very like talented and they're very like rapper style and all, and he is that style. And when we started our mocktail project, he was one of the frontliners, and he was just going around juggling and entertaining customers and all. And we're like, oh wow, um, maybe there's an opportunity here. Maybe there's a platform here that we can open up for refugee teens who are looking to express themselves in this way. And so we started a Limelight mocktail project that helps develop their personality, character, and at the same time teach them proper mixology theory and practice. And from there, then we can also help customers to give them a platform to showcase. So those kind of things that we see every single day, inspiration. He inspired the whole project. Yeah.
Right. Limelight is a mocktail. What is it? Like what is Limelight?
So we in catering companies, you must have live stations, and so we have the panipuri live stations, we have the ice kacang live stations, and those kind of local delights and all. But the mocktail live station is something that we experimented it last year. So we got a few refugee teens to do mixing mocktail for customers on site, and they were enjoying it because they like the juggling, they like the shaking, and people like to see the live action of all these product as well. So they did so well, and they didn't just showcase the skill, but they also showcase hope, inspiration, love for what they do, and it inspires people. And so and we continue to take that and develop into a project called Limelight, where we want to inspire, build character, build personal development for refugee teens who are looking for different avenue to express themselves and learn mixology at the same time. And it's such a cool career in the future. You never know, right? You might be a very, very, top-notch mixologist at one point due to this. And it's such a niche career that a lot of people may not think about. Why? Because they're probably usually hidden, like hidden bars or all those things. And but those are cocktail, but we make mocktails because we have to be Muslim friendly, right? And so from there we extended the program, and now we're running that program for refugee teens.
Right, right. And yeah, so it's so interesting that obviously culturally, as you said, that they're different, but a lot of them mean well and all that, right? And sometimes it can even be translated to the way they speak,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah.
but you shouldn't take it so literally, lah, right? In some sense, right?
You should sit down and have a conversation. Really have a conversation. Like a lot of times, if the team members they feel hurt by certain words, which go talk to that person, go understand their intentions. They may not have the intention that you are thinking of. They probably just didn't know certain words that they could use. Talk and educate. That's all.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Is there I mean a lot of them come from as you mentioned, right? There's a lot of war or suffering and a lot of personal trauma, and I would imagine many of them have built some level of resilience beyond what the average person would have gone through, lah, right?
Yeah.
Right. Are there any lessons that you learned from them?
we locals learn a lot from their resilience. I can share one chef. Her name is Chef Rosa, and she's from Afghanistan. Has not worked her whole life at all. It wasn't until like her husband fell from a sky. I think like he was doing some construction and all, and he dropped from a scaffolding, and he hurt his back, so he was half paralyzed after that. So he was the only breadwinner, but eventually if it became Chef Rosa needing to be a breadwinner in just one night, right? And she's not done this before. She has 5 kids, I think 5 or 6 kids, and it got her into depression mode just so fast. So she had to attend to I think a psychiatrist or something like that, and then she was taking depression pills. Now, the side effect of depression pills is that you will forget things or you will tremble at times, right? It depends to individuals. Hers was that she kept forgetting things. So she couldn't remember recipes. If you are a chef, you can't remember recipes, it's going to be very, very, very difficult, right? And so what we did, we worked with her for I think 1 year plus. She was still coming into the kitchen, still forgetting things. And at one point, I told her, I went to her house and sat down very, very seriously with her, like, Froza, this is not working out. We really can't have you coming into the kitchen all the time because we want to empower them, right? And we can't have you forgetting recipes all the time. So what we're gonna do here? She said, give me one day. I'll tell you what I want to do after this. Texted me the next day. She said, Kim, I want to try this one more time. And if this doesn't work out, I will go and find my way. We will part ways. I'm like, okay, let's do this. All right. So what we did, we printed all the recipes, we put out on her wall. We remind her constantly again and again. She went off the depression pills. She tried not to take it anymore. And with that resilience, she stood up, she showed up, and she fought for herself. And eventually now today, after 2 to 3 years already, I think she's earning, probably she's earning okay for to cover everything at home. And more importantly, the most recent news is that her husband can finally walk because she had money to send him for physio, and he was very, very happy. And once when we stepped into her house, the once very depressing ambience became very, very, very light, very bright, very hopeful. We felt it, and that was the resilience that we see in them.
Wow.
And that's where all the locals in the team learn from working with them.
Oh, I'm so inspired. It's like
Yeah.
what a nice, as in like it's so great, right?
Yeah.
Like she turned it around.
She turned it around. She's so strong. She got stolen 4,000 ringgit last 2 months, I think. She didn't ask for a penny. She was like, I will figure out. I don't need more money. And she overcame it herself. So we didn't need to be there all the time. So they can be independent if we allow them to, and if we empower them.
Sometimes some of these insane challenges, I feel like, sort of, if you look at it, obviously no one wants bad things to happen, right? But it's also a moment where some people used to break through in terms of themselves, right?
Yeah.
Right, and they emerge a different, stronger person.
Yeah, she's very, very different today. Yeah. So a lot of people, maybe if you are to give up, maybe if you are to think like, okay, this is it, I think you can think about Chef Rosa and her family and know that there's always the next steps that you can take.
Right. From a business point of view, I think there are obviously a lot of like catering businesses.
Yeah.
It's a very competitive market, right? So, and you're going into this market as a business. In some sense, already you talked about how culturally your chefs are different. There are a lot of challenges you have to overcome.
Yeah.
I would say like purely from a business standpoint, you don't have any advantages there. Let me put it this way, right?
Yeah.
But and you enter such a hot competitive market.
Yeah.
What do you think made you stand out and like grow to, where you are now?
I think it's the message that we're sending out, that every time you get this, every time you buy from us, you are contributing to world peace. Um, and it is very tough. Like, you have catering companies that are here for a very long time, like Big Onion and Tiffany's, and then you have the newcomers, not so new, but maybe around our age. Like, you have Running Man, and I Do Catering, I think, has been here for quite some time as well. I mean, these people have great services and processes and systems and chefs behind them, and we're working with scarcity here, right? And we have to be smart. It means our marketing, our storytelling have to be top notch, or higher. And so that's what we've been pounding on, our storytelling, the way we market the food, and the way we promote our chefs, because we don't want people to see our chefs as pity people as well. We want them to see them as powerful people, people who exactly serve food to you. So that is our message to people who have been purchasing or uh, collaborating with us. So that's how we work around our competitors.
Right,
Yeah. Of course, delivering quality, that is very, very important, and making sure that we have the branding essence to attend to our customers whenever there's an issue.
right. And I mean, we've definitely catered through PichaEats before, and I have to say, though, I really love as you say, like the storytelling behind it, because when, for example, when we're looking for caterer and we are presented with a list of, oh, here are our options, most other caterers for us is like, oh, how much is it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's so. And whereas when we see PichaEats on the list, it's like, oh, there is not just how much is it, but there's a reason why we should use Picha. Like, there's a different story.
The reason, there's a pride to it when you use, and that's what we want people to feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And who's and are you the main storyteller now in a way?
So my main storyteller was Suzanne. She is a very, very great storyteller. Now, both of us have very different styles of storytelling. She's more on the soft approach. I'm more on like the making you think kind of approach. And a lot of people really like her storytelling. Well, she has been in UK for, I think, around 8 months already, to study migration. So I think she wants to be a better storyteller so that she can penetrate into politics, so that she can affect change in a higher standpoint. And so not having her for the past 7 8 months is push myself to be a better storyteller. But I also very much respect the way that she storytells. Yeah.
Right. How do you learn this storytelling thing, by the way?
Oh, there are frameworks, but at the same time, there's a lot of requiring to write. A lot of people thought that you just sit down and then you just start talking. No, but it requires you to start writing. You have to write your story, you have to brain down, you have to restructure and structure again, you have to read it out and see if it's smooth. If it's not smooth, you rewrite again until you have your own story. And a lot of people refuse or don't want to go through that process. So they thought you could just sit down and start blabbing away. You can. And a lot of people also use that as a practice, but depends how camera shy you are. They use the TikTok to they use TikTok to practice. So they have like, oh, here's our 30 days challenge of talking in front of the camera. So they just start blabbing and all, and they probably look back and see what they can improve. And that's a different way, or a modern way today. But I started with writing up. Yeah.
Right. I've seen some of those TikToks before. I actually know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But eventually they did become a better storyteller, like taking away their ums and ahs and replacing words and having a better flow. So yeah, it works.
Last two questions, right?
Okay.
Because PichaEats is, I suppose, quite unique organization. It's not a typical business. It's not like a charity either.
Yeah.
So how do you define success in this type of organization?
You know, every Monday team meeting, the most anticipated results that everyone wants to see is how many chefs can cover their basic income for the month. Every time my community lead press that button, and she will ask like, okay, now guess how many chefs get to cover their basic income, and everyone will start like 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1, right? And once she clicks, and she just clicked it yesterday, in June we were able to cover, I think, 75% or 80% of the chef being able to cover their basic income, and that gives everyone the joy and motivation. They go like yay and all, right? And that is our success goal. That is our way of seeing success. Not how much revenues we've made, but how many chefs actually get to cover their basic income. So that's the way we see success.
Wow, like that's amazing, right? So your one key metric for you is like how many people cover their
Yeah.
basic like living costs and all that,
Yes,
right?
yes. Of course, you have the basics in business, the revenues, the P&Ls that you have to look at as well. But that is what is driving people in the company.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And how about you, Kim, on a personal level? Right? What keeps you going?
My team members really keeps me going. I don't think I can do what I'm doing, especially in the past like 7 to 8 months, not having my business partner around. I really don't think I can do or continue to wake up and feel inspired and want to go to the office if they didn't show me that lah. So I'm very, very, very grateful, very inspired by them every single day. There are flaws, there are successes for sure, but I know that they have very, very good intentions and good heart in this company, and that's what I live for lah.
Right. And what's the future for PichaEats? And
A lot of people ask that. Every time people ask that, I'll say, "Oh, are you an investor?" But future for PichaEats. So our impact has evolved. Not just with the chefs. We've also try and work with refugee teams in these 2 to 3 years. And we've seen how they've grown in different areas. Example, putting them on operations, putting them on social media, putting them as content creators and all, helping them to explore different ways that they can possibly earn an income in the future, because we're in a gig economy where you don't necessarily need all the proper documentations to get work done. They can find ways to earn an income in this digital era, and it is whether we want to teach them or not. So that is our direction. We're teaching them those kind of skills, soft skills, hard skills, technology, a bit of AI here and there, teaching them that, and it starts to evolve into a different impact today. And hopefully one day we'll be able to address also statelessness. So we apparently have 2 to 3 million stateless people in Malaysia. People who are Malaysian, born in Malaysia, they don't have their IC, and just because of that, they are deprived from basic or proper education, and with that, then their whole future is like, I wouldn't say ruined. I will just say it's not a smooth one, because they can still make it. And I think that is where we want to see ourselves in eventually as well, addressing these kind of issues too.
all right. I'm not deeply versed in this topic, but these are children of refugees, is it?
They are again they are stateless people where maybe they are born out of wedlock,
Right.
or like there's maybe there was a fire when during their younger times, and it burned off their IC and their birth certificate, or they are abandoned without knowing who their parents are. Many different cases. So we see them, and we think they are truly very talented if given the right platform, and we want to address them in the future.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like it's a whole topic by itself, right? Like, can go deep, right?
It's huge.
Right.
It's huge. And many people have fought for this policy or this area for a very long time.
Right, right. And before this, you mentioned that you're also helping with upskilling. Is that what I'm hearing? Like beyond just like catering and all that.
Exactly. So one thing that they really don't have is laptop skills. And in this digital era, how can one not have laptop skills, right? So we just have to get them a laptop and start helping them to get on it, right? And you just give them a year, they'll probably be better and very tech savvy than you, right? But because they weren't given the opportunity, and even just that one laptop, that probably costs a person 400 or 500 ringgit with a second-hand one, right? And people may say that, oh, how you know it's 400 or 500 ringgit? I know because my brother sells them. And it is just 400 or 500 ringgit. Give them the laptop and they'll start, practicing and on it, working around it, and learn. And if you give them that, they will fly really fast.
Right, right,
Yeah, it does not take a lot to empower someone.
right. So it's you sort of saying one day they'll be like Picha something else, like Picha IT,
Maybe, I don't know.
Picha Digital.
Maybe. We'll see. Yeah.
Right, good. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Kim. Thanks for coming in. I think, as I mentioned, we are also customers of PichaEats. I love the stuff that you are doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And I really appreciate how candid you are with that journey. Sometimes like when we obviously kind of see the end product, but we don't see what goes on behind the scenes, right? To get to that end product. And it sounds, I was very inspired to hear all the stories of the people that you had to work with, right? To come up with this, well, I guess this end product might be like the catering business itself, and the journey that you had to take to put. I mean, if you're thinking of it purely as a business, there are a lot simpler ways to run the catering business. Do it this way.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But this was the harder way, but a more meaningful way in some sense.
Yes. It's something that we've not regretted starting up.
Right. Amen. All right. Thank you again.
No, thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us and getting to the end of the episode. If you like this, follow us or hit the subscribe button. It will help us bring on more amazing guests and makes the whole show better for you. So thanks again and see you in the next one.